Hi God, it's Alan Drummond. I can't let Jude go without a reference, so add this to a file if you would. Jude Drummond was a seriously good woman, and I'll tell you why. As if you didn't already know, but your clerical staff might need to be brought up to speed. Jude McFadden was well bred and well brought up. She was attractive, no doubt about that. My heart beat when I saw her. But when I met her mum and dad, her sister and brothers, and her extended family, my head joined in and said, yeah, she'll do. I liked the old school Catholicity of the McFadden, Wall, McMahon people, the strong ties across the generations, and the affection between the growing tree of that strong Parramatta family. Jude never described herself as an A-grade student, but she made good friends at school. She sometimes talked of an occasion when a teacher said that she wasn't as good as her mother or her grandmother, who had attended OLMC Parramatta before her. That comment hurt her deeply, and it stuck to her throughout her life. On the other hand, I never heard her speak a single bad word to anyone, not ever. After school, she left home to train as a nurse with the Little Company of Mary at Lewisham Hospital. There she became a loose woman in that she took up smoking. But I swear it wasn't her fault. All the other nurses were doing it. Funny, I didn't score many brownie points for including her photo, that's her, bottom right, on the cover of a book I wrote. She always preferred to avoid the limelight. Let's talk about that important virtue of punctuality. Full marks to Jude. We even earned the nickname the Early Drummonds. Okay, she was late for her own wedding, but that wasn't her fault. My best man split his pants right up the backside just as we're ready to leave for the church. He's here today in this church. He's the one with the red face. Because of him, I was late, and Jude had to do a few laps of the block while she was waiting. I'm glad she waited. Sometime later, she was stricken with a bout of morning sickness. That was really exciting. We'd found the cure for smoking. Childbearing's a wondrous thing. I was and still am in awe of the whole mystery of motherhood. If the parable of the talents means anything, it means that we have to use the talents that you've given us. And Jude was given an exceptional talent for making babies and for mothering them. She was a good milker, to the extent that our last-born signalled his readiness for bed at night with the cry, "Pussy milk." She was no slouch in the realm of solid food either. The miracle of the loaves and fishes often came to mind as she fed all 7 of us, plus a never-ending stream of friends of the kids. You have to agree, God, hospitality is a fundamental form of charity. Jude's food was always accompanied by good presentation. First-time visitors to our table were inclined to ask, "What's the special occasion?" Though on later visits, they might exclaim, "You guys eat like this all of the time." She did most of it herself, but left enough space for the kids to look over her shoulder and learn how to become excellent cooks themselves. She could run up an outfit for herself on the sewing machine given her by her parents as a wedding present. It might be an outrageously hot pink, or it might be a white t-shirt with a patch sewn on the front to match her pants. And when my 2 favourite girls appear in a photograph together, there's Celia in another delightful little number run up by her mother. If praised for her work, she always deflected attention from herself with words like, "Lots of people can do that." But of course, lots of people didn't do that. If heaven's a garden of delights, so have our houses been. Jude was as fruitful in the garden as she was in cultivating children. Which is not to say that I'm recommending her for a job on the heavenly ground staff. I'm just saying that she used her talents to the full here as well. Long after an elderly pair of Jehovah's Witnesses had despaired of converting Jude, they continued to visit, essentially to admire her garden. It was a wonderful setting in which her children could grow up, where we could meet friends in quiet conversation, where parties could be held, or where the annual Christmas picnic cricket match could be contested. It has to be said, God, that Jude wasn't a particularly good cricketer. But that's your fault, not hers. There's a garden analogy in that, though, for it's the variety of features and talents that make your creation so enchanting. I'd like to remind you too that she held out her hand to the poor and the needy. She used her natural warmth as part of the open door team which welcomed new families to the school and the parish at Stella Maris. Her warmth, empathy and kindness was evident as she went about distributing casseroles and the like to the families of new mothers, to the ill and to the bereaved. And then there was that quiet backroom work she did for the children in the care of the Mirabel Foundation. She travelled well. She discovered that St. Peter's was bigger than she was. Okay, she may have once said that if she had to see the inside of one more church, she would scream. But she did kneel beside her bed every night and quietly list her special intentions. You were listening, weren't you? And what a welcome change it was for her to wash and dry the clothes outside our hunting lodge near Siena. While our last few slides run through, I want to make a couple of points. Jude never did like that gospel reading that we listened to today. She was definitely on Martha's side, sticking up for the kitchen hands against the armchair theorists. All I could say in reply was that I thought Jesus might have been taken out of context. You might have a better answer for her. Secondly, it might occur to you, God, that the rest of us sat around the house taking photos of Jude while she went about her daily tasks. We'd rather not respond to that accusation on this occasion, except to say that it's not entirely true. Tom, for example, once abandoned the camera and did his own sketch of her. Jude had no great causes. She didn't worship at the feet of that imposter god, the economy. She didn't aspire to leadership, even in our local community. But she did ordinary things exceptionally well. In doing that, she raised a family which returned her love and will always be inspired by her example. In the same way, she quietly and humbly touched the hearts of everyone she came in contact with. Faith, hope, and love. These three remain, but the greatest is love. I thank you, God, for the enormous privilege of spending 43 years of my life with this strong, stylish, fun-loving, creative, and caring little lady. And I commend her to your loving care. The problem is that if there's a queue at the pearly gates, she'll be stepping aside to let other people go ahead before her. You might have to go down to collect her.